se me bailame ahora. Le mete sudando, su cuerpo demora.
De todas las baby, ella es la championa. Se pone loquita sin...
And welcome back to my channel. So today I have a story time. I'm actually going to talk about my labor and delivery. Only the things I remember, actually. And also I'm going to let you guys know how me and George found out that I was pregnant. So yeah, if you want to see more of this, then just keep on watching. Anyways, so basically it all started when I was just home, and it was like a couple of days that I noticed that I was having a lot of heartburn. I usually had heartburn because I would eat a lot of hot Cheetos and spicy chips and stuff like that, so I thought heartburn was normal. Until I lasted like about 10 days taking pills for heartburn, and it would not make a difference. So that's when I got scared, and I was just like, oh my god, what is wrong with my stomach? Like, why is it hurting so much? Nothing is helping the pain. George would think I was crazy because he's just like, it's heartburn, and in my head it was heartburn. So I was at work and I was not feeling good. I actually started like getting nauseous, like wanting to throw up. I didn't really throw up, but I wanted to throw up, and I told my manager, I was like, you know what, I don't feel good, I need to go to the doctor. So George actually went with me to the doctors, and I walked in there and told them I have a lot of heartburn and nothing is taking it away, like I don't know what to do. And then I just started telling her like how I felt, and in my mind, like, it's just heartburn, okay? Like, never did pregnancy cross my mind at all. So the nurse kind of looked at me, and she probably looked at me like, seriously? And she was like, well, I'm actually going to send you downstairs to the lab so you can do so you can get blood work, and we can do a pregnancy test. And I was like, what? I was like, okay, I'll go downstairs, I'll do that, like, it's whatever, I'm sure it's not that. So that whole night, I was not gonna get the results till like the next morning through the app. So that whole night, like, me and George were on the phone. We always used to sleep talking on the phone, like the phone was just on, and then I would hang up on him the whole night just so I could go check, and I would hang up and then I would go check, and nothing. So the next morning, I actually got up to get ready for work, and the phone was still on with George. He was on his way to work, and I hung up on him, and I said, I'm gonna go check. So I checked, and I saw the app, and it said positive. I started literally freaking bawling out, like I was crying. I called George, and I'm just like, it came out positive, like, I was freaking crying, and he's like, why are you crying? I don't know why I was crying, like, I was freaking bawling out. Never be fully prepared for a baby, so obviously it's gonna catch you off guard if you were not expecting it. So that's probably why I was crying, because I was scared, like my life was literally about to change completely, and it was just like a scary thing, like it was just so new to me, you know? But yeah, like, he was so freaking happy, like, that whole day. Like, I guess he was like at work telling his coworkers like, I'm having a baby. So that day, like, after I got off work, we hung out, and there was just like mixed emotions. Like, it was crazy. We were so happy, but at the same time it was just like we didn't know what to expect, we didn't know what to think. But anyways, later on, like, we found out that we were having a baby boy, and it was everyone's so excited because it was going to be the first grandbaby on both sides of the family. Now, and towards my pregnancy, like I said, I was only nauseous and having a lot of heartburn before I found out I was pregnant. After I found out that I was pregnant, like, I did not throw up, I was not nauseous. I was literally in high heels working up to like my last day of work, and I was still in heels like up to my baby shower and everything. So it was really easy. I was able to sleep through the whole night. The only pain that I had was like on my ribs, because I felt like him like getting in my ribs, but that's it. Other than that, like, I had a beautiful pregnancy. He was born on 4/20. I was avoiding that. So hopefully 420 is not a thing whenever he grows up. But so I had my 40-week appointment, and it was like one day before my due date, and they told me, you know what, you're only half a centimeter dilated. If you don't go into labor on your own, then we're going to schedule an appointment for next week so we can induce you. And by that time, I was already like done. Like, I wanted this baby to come out already. I wanted to meet him. I wanted to see his beautiful face, everything. And that same day after my appointment at nighttime, I actually went into Kaiser because I was having contractions, and I felt like I needed to go into labor. I think I just was being a little baby, and I just wanted to get it over with. So I was saying like my contractions were really bad, when at that moment I did not know what bad was yet. That night they actually sent me back home. So they said they couldn't do anything because I wasn't dilating and my contractions were not within like 1 minute to 2 minutes or less than that. So the next morning my mom freaking got me up, and we were in the garage dancing and trying to speed up the process. So my contractions were about 4 minutes, 3 minutes apart or so. And then interesting thing is that my dad has horses, so he was actually at the ranch with the horses, and he ended up getting hurt. He came home and literally he had like blood dripping down because he had an accident, fell on his face, so he was bleeding. And then the minute I saw him, it scared me so bad because I didn't know that had happened. I just saw him bleeding. So at that moment, my contractions were 1 minute, 2 minute, 1 minute, 2 minute, and I was like, let's go, we gotta go, we gotta go. My contractions, and they were still like contractions that I could handle. They were more like cramps, but they were still like 1 minute, 2 minutes away. So I was like, let's go. I got to the hospital around 11 p.m. and I told them, you know, I'm going to labor. My contractions are 1 to 2 minutes, and then they put me in a room. So at this moment, George and my mom were with me. So they put me in a room, and they were just like, we're gonna monitor you, we're gonna check your contractions and everything and make sure that you're dilated. I was still like half a centimeter dilated. Like, I was not dilating, and my contractions were so bad. So through the night, they gave me like 1 shot, and they gave me another shot, and then they put medicine through my IV, and nothing was putting the pain, nothing was taking the pain away. At this moment, I would wake up and just like start crying. Like, I was in so much pain. My poor mother and George, like, they felt bad for me. And then when like contraction would go away, like, I would hug George, and then as soon as the contraction would come, I would freaking like cuss him out and push him away from me. I felt so bad, like, thinking back to how I treated him that day. But anyway, I waited until the next day up to, it was like 1 p.m. when they were just like, I could not handle the contractions. Like, I was on the floor crying, I was freaking bawling out, I was screaming of how bad the pain was. And they were like, you know what, like, do you want the epidural? You will not feel anything after this epidural, like, you should get it. And then at that moment, George was like, give her everything you can, like, give her the epidural, give her whatever it takes, but please just take this pain away from her. Like, I don't want to see her like this anymore. So I got the epidural. I did not feel the needle or anything because I'm assuming the contractions were so bad that I did not care for no needle or anything like that. As soon as they put the epidural, the pain was gone. Like, if you could see like the thing measuring the contractions, they were like so strong, but I did not feel anything. The only thing is, once I got the epidural and the bottom floor of your body is completely numb, I got anxiety because I could not feel my legs, so I was crying because of the anxiety. But I would 10 times prefer that anxiety and not feeling my legs than feeling the contractions. So advice for you guys, if you guys go into labor or you guys are expecting a baby, epidural is the way to go, trust me. There's no reason why you should be standing that much pain. Like, if you can get the epidural, please get the epidural. They say like you getting the epidural, your back is gonna hurt later on. And honestly, like after labor, it did hurt. Like for a couple of days, my back, like when I would sit in the car or something, like my lower back would hurt. But it's completely gone now, and I don't know why I didn't get the epidural sooner. So yeah, epidural is the way to go. So before the epidural, I was only about 3 or 4 centimeters dilated, which was still nothing, and I was already the next day. And they were, apparently I didn't have enough liquids in my body, so they kept putting liquids and liquids in my body. And after the epidural, I literally went from like, I think it was 3 centimeters up to 7 centimeters. So it made a huge difference. And then after that, it was like hours and hours. I dilated from 7 centimeters up to 10, and they told me, all right, you are 10 centimeters dilated, but you have a fever. You have a really high fever, so I don't think you should want to push yet. And they kind of left out the room, and I told them no, like, tell them like I want to push, like I'm ready, like I feel him coming, like I want to push. And they come back and they're like, all right, well you can try to push, but you know, it might just take hours since you have the epidural, like it's not really gonna like be as easy, it might like take a long time. And I was like, no. I freaking started pushing. It was only like 10 to 15 minutes of pushing, and he was out. He was freaking out, and at that moment I was literally in tears. I was crying so much. I don't know if it was like of happiness or if it was just like the pain going like away, or like it was just like I was done, and I was so happy to hold him in my arms. And it was such a beautiful moment. And whenever you have a baby, like that moment is the most beautiful moment of your life. And yeah, so he was born on 4/20. He was actually born at 5:59 p.m. He was such a healthy baby. He was born 6 pounds 15 ounces, and he measured 20.5 inches long. So yeah, I am so happy. When it comes to the name, also his name is Sebastian. He has no middle name. George chose that name. So actually after he was still born, we still weren't sure about the name. I wanted him to be a junior. I wanted him to be named after George. But I was in the bathroom, and then the nurse came in, and she asked, like I could hear, and she asked, oh, so what are we gonna name him so I can fill up the birth certificate, the one that they give you there at the hospital. And he was like, Sebastian. And I heard him say Sebastian, and I was like, what the hell? Like, I was pissed off. And then I was literally crying in the bathroom, and then the nurse goes in there and she was like, oh, like, so Sebastian is his name? And I was like, yes, I guess so. I was freaking in tears, but now I'm fine with the name Sebastian. I'm happy with it. I love it. It fits him perfectly. And yeah, we are so happy to have a baby boy, and he is now 3 months and weighs about 13 pounds. But thank you so much for watching this video. I know that I might have been all over the place, but just thinking back to that moment, it's like crazy. So get like mixed emotions as well. So thank you so much for tuning in, and if you'd like to watch any other types of videos, just let me know down below, and I would be happy to post this for you guys. Thank you. Bye.